to your computer.
Welcome back, NDL Weekly. Happy to have you here with us. What the heck? Oh my God, that was so good, dude. Hey, that was smooth and like pros. Like it if you like it. Hey, even you don't have to subscribe. Don't clog your YouTube channel with the NDL show if you don't want. I would love to clog your channel, but just like it. Just like it if you kind of like it. Let's say you got 30%. I like it 30. Like it. Click that button. But happy to have you guys on with us, listening to us, watching us. I'm trying to find out, how much money I could spend on this and get us on Apple Podcasts. I don't know if anyone wants it. Let me know if you want it. I would love to throw money at it. If it's easier to have it on your podcast feed, or I know if we don't pay for the YouTube channel, then you can't close your app. You got to keep it open the whole time. Sucks up your data or what have you. Let me know. Just
I do know a trick for watching it on YouTube with your phone locked. If you're on iPhone, I can share that in the Discord later.
Give it to me in the Discord later. I love it. Thank you, bro. Or DM me or come over to my house. But Adrian, how you living, brother?
I'm living well.
Good, man. Good weekend?
For now. Yeah, except for losing to Joe a couple times.
So awful weekend.
It was spectacular.
Loud and clear. Give me just a real quick, guys. What's happening? Just like a couple bullet points on the show. On the show? Like it's a play. No, on the game. What's up with the game? I watched 0.0 of it. Anything good?
I've also had no time to watch it. I don't know.
No time.
It's not super exciting.
Okay.
Tom Brady's
Barkley,
doing what he does.
good stuff. So stuff.
So
Barkley, looking at the box score, has less rushing yards than John Ross, if that tells you anything.
Oh no. Dude, yeah.
Touchdown, Mike Evans.
Pass.
Just now, or you're hoping?
Just now.
Oh, Snapple.
And with that,
I didn't need that.
my season's over.
So you think it is really in GA?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see what actual depression looks like, just hone in on Mitchell's screen as he sees his demise in GA. Adrian,
Yes.
you went into the season as a Gaskins believer. Did you guys know it's Gaskin? Because am I the only one that says Gaskins? Plural?
No, Gaskins. I don't know.
No, singular.
It
Yeah, I
is
think
very.
it's Gaskin. Miles Gaskin.
You're right. Adrian and I wrong. Jason fell asleep. You are a Gaskin believer,
Gaskin.
Adrian. Gaskin. You're correct. I was hopeful. I tried to buy him off you. You told me to eat a bag of dicks, and that wasn't nice. Season started, and we saw lots of inconsistency with his usage. Okay. Doesn't matter if it's a tough matchup or an easy matchup, he's all over the place. Right now, though, we all need running back at this point in the season. Here's his playoff schedule. You ready for it, Adrian? Week 15 is the Jets. Week 16 is New Orleans. Week 17 is Tennessee. Not bad, not outstanding. But I think the tougher the schedule is on the run game, the better it's going to be in our half PPR and PPR leagues, right? So you need running back because everyone does. Everyone's holding on to their backs or the price is steep for the greats. How much is the most you would pay for right now for Gaskin singular? I'm going to ask you. You ready?
Yeah.
2 seconds. Would you send away 2 seconds for Gaskin right now? It's almost any team, right? Because if you have enough running backs, trade deadline's coming, you want another running back, right? So would you send away 2 seconds for Gaskin?
I would. I think he's probably at that value right now, or maybe at late first.
Oh, so maybe in a 16-team league. Would you do it in a 12-team league if you know you're championship type?
I don't know. I would have to. No, I don't know. I would do probably 2 seconds.
Terrace Marshall. Terrace Marshall, and I'll come back to you, Jason. Terrace Marshall straight up. Would you send away Terrace Marshall for Gaskin?
Yes.
Yes, I think I would.
Mooney. Don't say anything, Mitchell. I know. I saw it on your face. I swear.
Yeah. I don't think I would send Mooney.
Mm-mm. Okay, last one. Would you send away Kareem Hunt?
No.
Or would you rather have him for the stretch?
Ooh, man.
Remember, you got to make the
I'd like-
playoffs.
Yeah.
Trade
think I
deadline's
would-
coming.
I would take Hunt, I think. Because I think he's more consistent when he's there.
Okay, Jason, real life scenario is?
Juju or Gaskin. Because I'm thinking about making that
Did you
move.
know? Did you know?
Do you Juno?
Did you know? It's going to be Juju.
So you'd rather have Juju?
I think so.
Okay, we're all going through this right now. Good to know. Who we got up next? Justin, how you living, brother?
Surviving.
Surviving
Bad week.
NDL or just like life?
Life, I'm slightly above surviving. NDL, I'm surviving.
Give me one sentence on why you're just barely surviving life.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, you know?
Are you?
And I'm
right
a
in
bad
the-
curveball hitter. I was always a fastball hitter growing up. So
So like you're quick improvising, but if curveballs happen,
yeah, no, I like to guess pitches. And if I
okay.
guess wrong, it's ugly for a minute.
Yeah, let me see if I'm on the same page as you. If it's time for me to make a life and death choice, I'm freaking on it, bro. But if it's time for me to prepare for the theater, I'm at 7-Eleven in the candy aisle, paralyzed with fear of making the wrong choice. You that way or the opposite?
Yeah, pretty close, but I'll always go peanut M&M. So that choice is easy.
Yeah, but what if you're just not feeling like chocolate and you feel like sour, but then all you have is chocolate?
You just get both. Take them with you.
Oh my God.
Have the options once you've sat down.
That's the correct answer. But then like, is it sour Skittles, even though it's going to cut up your mouth?
Nope, can't do that.
You can't do that.
No,
Have you-
I go sour Patch Kids or watermelons.
Yeah,
A little
don't do the
gentler on your
watermelons.
palate.
It is gentler, but you kind of get sick of it after about 12. Justin,
Fair.
looks like Howard is out this week for the Eagles. Okay. Miles Sanders got 16 carries for 94 yards. Pretty sexy, 5.88 per carry. How confident are you in Miles leading the backfield based off how you saw him yesterday?
If he wouldn't have fumbled twice, I'd be a lot more confident. He lost the one fumble, and then a second one he was called down. But then he didn't really see any play time until Howard went out injured. But because of the injury, I'd be willing to go with him. You know, I think I'm confident in him as an RB2 this week, at least.
Mhm.
Low end RB1. It's a completely different team than it was when he went out with the injury.
Seemed
I-
like
I don't know how you could not trust him, especially with Howard out.
Miles Sanders versus the Giants or Jacobs at Dallas on Thanksgiving.
I'd take Sanders.
Miles Sanders versus the Giants or Henderson at Green Bay.
Oh, that's tough. I love Henderson because his goal line work and his opportunities he's going to get. But
But he will be hurt about midway through the
is it
second
confirmed
quarter.
that Howard's out this week? If so, I'd go Sanders.
Howard's out.
Okay, I'm going Sanders then, personally.
Last one, Miles Sanders versus the Giants or Ingram versus Buffalo. Solid defense.
Yeah, no, I'll go Miles Sanders versus the
Miles
Giants.
Sanders. Love it. Mitchell, how's scale of one to super depressed? How are we feeling right now?
Super depressed.
Okay. Now, I apologize. I swear if I could hug you, we would cuddle. I mainly want to touch your hair. I was just saying before the show that I would like just an oscillating fan. So it's not always on you, but like every 6 seconds, I see the movement in your hair. I mean, if you got one of those, I would say I
Bring it
accept
on.
that.
I'll
Yes.
see what I can do.
Ayuk had 21.50 PPR points. Oh, Debo had 16.4 PPR points. Kittle had 15.4 tight end premium PPR points. This team is playing some really good football the last couple of weeks. Lost a bad one to Arizona 3 weeks ago. That was to be expected. Two-part question. Right now, should we be trading for Jimmy G in Superflex? Hold on one sec. He should be relatively cheap. And I'd imagine a contender that is rostering him right now is not really relying on him. He's probably their third or fourth. He is my third or fourth quarterback in Superflex leagues. So a contender isn't really relying on him. And they probably want to capitalize on a deal with him while they can, and he's the starter. I'm going to start there. So should we be trading for Jimmy G in Superflex leagues?
I would say yes. He's a decent target to go get. I would not pay a lot for him. Obviously, since they drafted Trey Lance, I just wouldn't trade more than like a second round pick or maybe a flyer wide receiver with a third round pick or something like that.
Even in Superflex.
Yeah, even in Superflex. I mean, he's useful. I'm trying to find his PPR stats or not his PPR.
I got you. I'm going to pull it up in 4-point.
So
you got it.
I mean, in a league, this isn't like crazy
sure
quarterback league or anything. I think it's 5 points for every 100 yards and then 6 for a touchdown, -3 for an interception. He only had 19 points. So Deebo Samuel's touchdown came rushing. He only threw to Brandon Ayuk and Jimmy, and he only threw for 170 yards. So he's been incredibly efficient. That's not great for fantasy. It's great for the Niners, and it's great for the NFL,
but is it great as your QB2 in the Superflex spot and having before the trade deadline acquiring starting quarterback? I'm going to finish with this. Do you think that Lance even starts next year?
Yeah,
because I'm getting word that
I think the back half of next year.
Okay, so you think the back half of the next year? Some people are saying he's going to sit until 23. Jimmy G keeps winning or wins 9 games or on his way to 9 games. Do they pull the plug? Because these numbers that I'm seeing on him are pretty good. Not bad.
I think they're really good NFL numbers.
And that's really what matters.
Yeah, for
as far as us acquiring a starting running back in Superflex, really not in one quarterback leagues. I wouldn't pay anything for him.
It's pretty much irrelevant, I would say. Yeah. If Jimmy's your starting quarterback in a one quarterback league, you did something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. JK, how you living, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What you eating?
I had an orange.
You had an orange, going big. Did you eat anything else? I know you just came out of class.
What is it? I had some leftover pizza. Mother brother's birthday was Sunday.
Do you have a great metabolism?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I would say so. Don't brag about it. I am super jealous because I made it on the lips, forever on the hips. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you mean.
You do know what I mean. You don't know what I mean personally, but you get it because I say it all the time. And I'm pissed because I'm telling you guys, 30, Adrian, tell me if this happened to you. I don't know if it happened to you. I could eat anything, bro, at 30. It was like on my birthday, 30 years old. I would wake up and I'm like, damn, I see those 2 Snicker bars. I could see them. I feel them. Yeah, enjoy it, Jason. Make me sick. All right, Carter goes down this week, Jason, okay? Carter goes down. Ankle sprain. You hate to see it. 0 RB, guys, everywhere crying. 2 questions. You ready, Jay?
I'm ready.
Would you go on and slide in Ty Johnson with as much confidence as when you were starting Carter? Real life question. This is a big one because we're all going to the waiver wire or we all have him because we had Carter.
I'm just going to go with no. I mean, he's obviously not the runner. He's not – I would say I put him in the same vein as maybe like a Gio Bernard. In the right matchup where you need to throw, he's a good target out of the backfield. He can get you the PPR points that you need, the 5 Catches, 40 yards, just the baseline 10 points.
Yep.
If if you really need a 10-point guy, I think that's probably as good as you're going to get. But I don't know. I wouldn't count on him for anything more than that.
Do you like the zero or hero RB strategy?
That's my lead. I don't mind hero if you can get one solid guy I mean, obviously like a workhorse like Taylor or Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I would never go. I don't like the hero.
Yeah, I typically take what the board is giving me, but the last couple of years I do gravitate towards in Dynasty, just saying I'm going to try as hard as I can this year, but I'm pushing for the following year, trying to win now, but I'm also strategizing. So one of my leagues, I didn't draft a running back until round 11. But that one, I'm 7-3. I had Carter. It's a $500 league. It's high stakes. Ty Johnson, super short rosters, almost like NDL style. But Ty Johnson in a PPR setting, Carter just came off of 7 points for Miami, but I'm sitting with Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Ayuk, Hawkinson in a 2 PPR tight end league, Dak, little this, little that. So I have great wide receivers. So Carter got me 7 points, 16 points, 9 points, 27, 11, and then a little this, little that at the beginning of the season. I think Ty Johnson in a PPR setting could probably get us somewhere around that. I got a game for you. Carter, his playoff run this year is Miami, good. Jacksonville, so. Tampa Bay, pretty ugly. So would you go ahead and try for Carter right now, try to get him cheap for someone who's desperate and needs running back or someone else? Would you try to get Carter, or are you just not interested?
I would try and get him, especially in Dynasty. I think he's got a bright future ahead. But it really depends on what you're giving up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't pay a ton.
Would you send a second?
It's going to probably cost you more than a second, I'd assume. I would send a second, though.
Would you send Terrace Marshall and a third?
I would probably send Terrace Marshall a second.
Oh, Terrace Marshall in a second. Very good. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Good intro questions. I'm going to slide all up into trade guys. I'm going to go first. Hold on one second. They're saying I love these. Okay, I picked Troutman. Trade for Troutman. Then I got a sleeper alert. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. Still, I'm going to suggest trading for Troutman. I freaking love him. You guys already know it. I'm going to tell you just a little bit. Let's just pretend he's still playing. Okay. I still want you to trade for him. Try to slip him into a package. Okay. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So this is strictly a next year play. I'm not sure about you guys, but I play in a ton of tight end premium leagues. Okay. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, I did bring him up with Mitchell the other day on one of his intro questions. And I hope you guys were listening. I hope someone went out and got him. I ended up going to get him. Since then, he was 4 for 47 that day in tight end premium. That was all right. No one started him, though. Then he was 5 for 32. Still not great. But then last week, 5 for 58. He did get the touchdown. Tight end's a stingy position. I hate playing matchups. I would highly recommend a stud in every single roster that you guys play at tight end. And then a player like Troutman or Freiermuth. Ingram is super cheap, and he's actually had a pretty good year. I would grab him. Troutman specifically for next year. It breaks my heart that I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do the rest of the year. But Troutman is my trade for guy. I would suggest trying to just slip him into a package. Adrian, who you got?
How many of you guys traded Mahomes last week?
No.
Sucks for you if you didn't.
I have 33 leagues and 0 Mahomes.
Okay. So listen to me now and believe me sometime in the near future.
Whatever you say here, I'm doing.
Bye-bye, Elijah Moore. for the love of God, is this thing on?
So are you saying
Bye.
bye-bye? Like see you later?
No, buy. Like
Oh.
Purchase.
buy up, get ready to buy Elijah Moore.
Love it.
So the cost right now is going to be higher than he would have been a couple weeks ago. Obviously, I'm looking to buy more wherever I can.
Mhm.
More of
More.
more is more. If you
What if
understand what,
more
I'm
is
saying.
less though?
More is
Less
more, always.
Oh, more is more. Sure.
So he has scored 13 or more fantasy points in 3 straight contests, including a wide receiver 1 finish in week 9.
Ooh, I can
Even
see
though
that.
Zach Wilson returns, even when Zach Wilson returns, or even if they stick with Flacco, I don't care. Buy the guy. Okay. They will not be able to stop him. And I'm praying for a bad week or 2 to capitalize on my prize. If that would happen, I think a first could nab him, or maybe a second and a running back or a wide receiver flex. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But
I love
buy
it.
more of more.
So where would you rank him for next year for Dynasty?
I think he's I don't think he makes the wide receiver 1 next year.
Mm-mm.
But I think it might take a couple years, but I think he's going to be good. So I'd say solid wide receiver 2.
Okay. How do you feel about Zach Wilson?
I think he needs to grow. He's
Mhm.
still young. I mean, I still see peach fuzz on his
Dude,
upper lip. So
he does look like a baby. I'm still holding out hope. I'm still excited about Wilson. I might have to do a trade for segment with him. Jason, who you got?
So I have DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, you're the one buying him, or are you selling him?
I'm buying him.
Hmm.
This is probably the last time he's ever going to be this low, at least for the rest of the season. He's coming off that injury. Everyone's mad at him. No one's happy they have him. Teams who thought they were going to be contenders are losing because they don't have him. But I would 100% buy him. He's got a great playoff schedule. Week 15 he has Detroit. 16 he has the Colts. 17 he has Dallas. It really doesn't get better than that. I think he probably has the best wide receiver schedule for the playoffs. He's still the same old Hopkins. He's averaging 7 to 8 targets a game and a touchdown a game. And he's had multiple, I believe it was 2 touchdown games this season.
Mhm.
I would say if you're a team that's contending and you can try and pull off a trade, maybe a wide receiver 2 and a first, so a move like that where you're trading away late first and a wide receiver
Mhm.
to get an elite talent like Hopkins who could get you 20 points every week is a great move for a championship.
You have faith Murray's coming back to form?
Yeah, I think he'll be back next week. I know he was close. He was close this week. Held him out an extra week. I'm pretty sure they have their bye this week. So now's the time to buy them both.
Mhm.
And then coming out, they should be forces for the playoffs.
And how many years do you think Nuke has left of wide receiver 1 potential?
This year, I'd probably say next. This year and next.
I'd say at least.
I think he's 29.
Yeah, he's still if he could stay healthy. I love him.
And then honorable mention, Logan Thomas.
Is he back on the field yet?
He's coming back this week, and he's
The
got a
big-
great schedule.
Do you know how old Logan Thomas is?
He's
I
like
blew me
31,
away.
right?
Yes.
31.
Is that crazy? 30, 31. I think it was 30. Maybe 31. Dude, that's disastrously old. Mitchell, who you got?
I got Jason's favorite player. This is a rookie
Jalen Hurts?
QB that I have recently become very fond of. His name is Mac Jones.
Oh, tell me.
Mac Jones is my trade for guy this week. And this is really more of a looking towards the future. So in a dynasty, if you can target this guy.
Say it slower.
In a dynasty,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
can target this guy,
Mhm.
that'd be real smooth.
That would be.
That was
Hey, you got a
pretty
great microphone, dude. Look at Adrian looks very uncomfortable. I'm with you, bro.
So this is a guy that I think you should target. Just looking at his numbers, I mentioned a second ago about Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm like, I wouldn't really target him. Mac Jones is a great target in a super flex league. I think he's the QB 18 right now in a lot of formats. He's definitely in the top 20. So I really, really like what we're seeing. I'm not saying he's a Tom Brady type, but if you look at his passing numbers, he's on pace for 4,000 yards this year, which is great for a rookie QB. His touchdowns are going to come, like a rookie comes out and throws 23 touchdowns. Nobody's surprised. That means he's on pace. He's looking really good. He's not making a lot of mistakes. So I just really, really like what we're seeing from Mac Jones. I think he's got a really bright future in the NFL. If you're in a dynasty league, target this guy. Super flex, excellent QB number 2 right now.
Yeah, you would have thought that someone would have had him as a trade for candidate last week by the name of Jason, but
Did you really?
yeah, but whatever, it's like whatever. So
Somebody
nice.
should have said something in the
Double trade for him.
in the chat.
And see, that's what this show's all about, though. I wanted to hear your perspective, and remember, we're talking about who are we trading for right now. So I was
Could change
trading
next
for him
week.
right now, and hey, heck yeah, it very well could. Look at Darnold. I was trying to buy him up all offseason, trying to get him low, trying to buy him, and then it looked great, and then it didn't, and then it looked disastrous. It was disgusting. Justin.
So I want to start by saying next week my trade 4 is going to be Mac Jones.
Good call. Good call.
But this week it's Pat Fryermuth.
Oh,
Another young
dude.
tight end, except for the difference is, unlike Troutman, Fryermuth's actually done something this season.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Eric Ebron looked good. His snap count, Fryermuth's snap count went down yesterday, but Ebron got hurt again at the end of that game with a knee injury. After the game, Tomlin said it was one of 2 quote unquote significant injuries we'll have to keep an eye on this week for the Steelers. So there's no guarantee we get him next week. He's also on the last year of his Ebron. Yeah. Ebron's also in the last year of his deal. And given the way this team is looking, he'll probably be gone as they try and get younger. They're designing goal line touches for him. This week he had 2 plays designed for him around the goal line, scored on one of them, was stopped with 2 on the other. And his value right now is higher than it's ever been, obviously, but I believe that's just going to keep getting higher. You might get lucky in the offseason with the quarterback not controversy, but with Big Ben moving on and the uncertainty around him. But that lower price might be what he's currently at right now. They talked last night on the broadcast that he was one of the few players that was in constant contact with Big Ben throughout the week while he had COVID. And that just shows that he's willing to make relationships with these guys. Even with Mason Rudolph, he's on 9 targets. So he's somebody that's going to keep being involved in the offense, especially if Juju and Ebron leave. His role is going to continue growing.
Great stat. 9 targets with Mason Rudolph even.
Yeah, he
Tight
had
end
a bad game because he fumbled at the end of it, but it would have been a solid game before that, even in that disaster rain.
Yeah. I'm in a 2 tight end league. I had to pay, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I had to pay Carr and CEH for him, and I was surprised he even took it with that.
I bought him for a first the week before he scored 2 touchdowns in NFL League.
Dude, it's so gut-wrenching watching a guy you just traded away do that the next week.
But the other way around, it's awesome feeling when it happens for you.
Oh my God. Yeah, big time. I don't think we're getting Fryermuth in Dynasty. It's going to need to be an overpay. And honestly, I'd do it. Tight end premium, I'm overpaying. I'm straight going Mitch on that trade chart, dude.
Yeah, even in non-tight end premiums, having a guy that you can comfortably plug in every week and not have to worry about matchups is such a blessing.
Good Lord. We can
always ask Jason K how it feels.
Yeah, Jason, what are your thoughts on Fryermuth? Would you trade him for a first?
I think he did. How does it feel to lose a guy like
that? What league was that?
Hey, I drafted him with a late second, and I got a first, and that first helps me get Tyreek Hill. So
the process worked, and now all you have to do is just pray he gets, like a career-ending surgery or some injury, or just something happens. All right, who's going first on league breakdown? That's our trade for trade away guys. Mitchell, the Pickle, is going to go first. Guys, seriously, trade for these guys. Trade away these guys. Take it week after week. Look at Mitchell. Mitchell gave us Mooney. What happened? Mooney goes crazy. That's the one that came to my mind after his 16 targets this weekend. Kelsey, I told you about Kelsey on the show a few weeks ago before Justin came on. Justin went out and bought him, and then he destroyed my Raiders. And then
I bought him the next day.
Bottom the next
This
day.
week I scored 232 points in that league. The next closest was 130.
So I will always get it right. Just that's what I'm trying to say.
Always.
No, but so this league, so you're gonna have podcasts for all the details and these stats, and that's their normal job. We're gonna bring you what we're doing in our leagues, who we're trading for, who we're highlighting, who we would maybe start in certain situations compared to, comparable tiered guys. We want to help you in your league. So now it's all about NDL right here. We're going to get into GA, break it down. We're going to a little swap-a-roo. Mitchell's going to start taking GA and Jason's going to take 32. So Mitchell,
Mitchell, Pickle,
Mitchell
whatever.
Pickle. I know, I forgot what your real name was. Pickle,
It's all
sorry.
good.
If you can kick us with the GA.
All right. So we're going to start with a race for the 101. Okay. So this is, it's kind of interesting. It's a little closer in the NFC than it is in the AFC. I don't know if, Adrian, if you want to go to reports, standings, and power rankings and sort by potential points. Okay. This is pretty much like it. You look at those bottom 4 or 5 teams, those are the people that are going to get the 101. And Tim's kind of got it by a mile right now. He's got 200 fewer potential points than anybody else. So I think I can safely say the Colts probably have the 101 locked up. And I think they actually had a fairly high draft pick this year too, I think. So those, I could be wrong about that, but he's got the 101 locked up. When you look for the 102 and 103, those two are basically neck and neck. That'll be Ryan and Zach coming in at 11, 16, and 11, 18. So those two are really, really close. That could go either way. Then you got a little bit of breathing room before James comes in at the 104. And then a bit of a jump up to the Titans, which is, I didn't write down who owns that team. Sorry. It is Andy. Anyway, it looks like Tim with the 101. The 102, 103 is going to go to Zach or Ryan, most likely. James, you're looking at the 104. That gap isn't huge. It's only 30 points or so, 34 points. So things could shake up a little bit in the AFC, but those are probably your top 5, and it's not super duper close after that.
Nice.
In the NFC, it's a little more interesting. So if you could sort the NFC by points, potential points, the 101 is still pretty cut and clear here with Justin and the Redskins. I think that needs to be changed to the Washington football team.
Yeah, I don't want to
know.
be affiliated with such racism.
But I won't let it. I won't let it change my judgment of you, Justin, or Zach. But they've got the 101. It's not by 200 points; it's by 100, so it's a little closer than the AFC. But 116 points is a lot to overcome. The Giants would have to tank, and the Redskins would have to be really, really good. But we do have Cole coming in at the 102, and again, he's really close there with Kyle and the Panthers. 102, 103, again, pretty close. And then again, you have that jump down to the Seahawks, which again, I didn't write down the Seahawks owner, Earl. Sorry about that, Earl. So, you're looking at the 104, maybe the 105. And anything can happen in these last few weeks. Your team could lay an egg and all of a sudden you were, the 8th most points for or potential points. And then you're the 12th. So it can change a little bit week to week. I think the 101 for both conferences is pretty secure right now. So keep up the bad work. Get those draft picks. I don't know who we're tanking for, but get them. I'll come back. I'll come back in January with rookie prospects.
People keep poo-pooing that class, but there's going to be some goodies to draft.
It's that top
sure.
4 or 5 looks solid.
And there's a bunch of not good but great wide receivers too. I don't know about Studley, but not just like decent. There's some good wide receivers in that class. Like a lot.
People have been talking about how the 2022 draft class isn't that good. And I think they've just been repeating what they've been hearing. And I don't think a lot of people have done a lot of research. Like, sure, you're not going to get Jonathan Taylor or Najee Harris or CeeDee Lamb possibly out of those types of, or Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, but there's still some really solid draft picks. So don't discount your picks. Don't be like, oh, well, someone told me 2022 picks aren't worth anything. It's not true.
And speaking to that, we're going to have Ash on maybe once we get into the playoffs and maybe not as much content. We're going to have Ash on, and he's going to give us an update on his rookie outlook. He's already digging into the research.
Cool. So let's talk about the playoffs, because that's a little more interesting. It's not super interesting at AFC. I believe all 6 teams are already determined. So all 4 division winners and the wild cards are already picked. The AFC, Jake and the Ravens are going to win the AFC North. They won this week, and the Bengals, or James and Ash, both lost. So I don't think that can go any other way. James nor Ash were in contention for wild card position. So Jake wins the AFC North. Michael is going to win the AFC South. That one wasn't even close. It never was at any point ever. Although it is interesting to note that the Jags there, Michael actually has 10 fewer points scored for than Houston, but the records are extremely different.
Wow.
That is like, that would really tilt me as an owner. That's just bad luck. So sorry, Houston. I hope your team is solid, and I hope you can come back next year. But Michael's got that locked up. In the AFC East, it's probably going to be Joe. A miracle could occur, and it might not be Joe, but it should be Joe and the Jets. He has absolutely dominated all year long. He put up a 200 burger basically this week. So his points for is actually going to jump up over 1,600. So that's just phenomenal performance by him. Great team. And in the AFC West, I believe it's going to be Rizzo. It could be Tony. Either way, whoever wins the division, the other person gets in on the first wild card. So both of them are in for the playoffs. And the second wild card, of which there are only 2, and I was made aware of this not that long ago, is Renee. Renee's going to get the second wild card. There's no hope for Mitch and the Patriots. Even if Renee lost the doubleheader and her game next week, and Mitch won both of those, Renee would win all of the tiebreakers if you look at division record. So Renee is going to be your second wild card in the AFC conference.
Sorry, brother. I know that stings.
It stings just a little. So it's pretty cut and dry. Great work to all those teams. I'd say, honestly, the worst team in the playoffs for the AFC is probably Michael and the Jags, just by looking at points for. So the team that deserves to be in the playoffs but isn't is me.
Damn,
Moving to the NFC.
And you made some good moves, bro. I know that hurts, bro, but live to fight another day.
Exactly. That's why I'm in so many leagues. I have to be successful in at least one of them. So
preach.
In the NFC, I want to talk about the NFC North in a minute, because it's a little more complicated. The NFC South, East, and West are pretty obvious. It looks like Jason W is going to win the NFC South. Not a whole not up for grab. Jason K is going to win the NFC East. Okay, great work, Jason K. Since your division
well done, Jason.
Is literal dog water.
Hey, come on now.
I will say
right
that
here.
I will say that I just got Eckler and Keenan Allen, and Roy just whomped me. So that's not good for me, and I might have to try for a wild card spot.
Is Roy the same?
Yeah.
You just got to win next week and you're in, right?
You just got to win next week.
I think so.
I think you'll be fine. I think. I'm pretty sure I checked that.
I think you losing there, though, helped me out to not get a wild card, or not playing the wild card week. I think I might get the bye.
Anyway.
Sorry.
In the NFC West, it's going to probably be
Marshmallow. Is that
Marshmallow? That's Michael and something else. And even if it's sorry, I'm trying.
Braxton. The 49ers.
Yep. Even if it's Braxton, the other one is the first wild card. So both of those teams, just like in the AFC West, both those teams are locked and loaded for the playoffs. Excellent work all around. Now, the NFC North is really complicated. because the Bears won their matchup this week and the Lions lost their matchup. So both of those teams are now at 10-4. And so that could be really tight. If the Bears beat the Lions, okay, next week,
Okay.
the Bears win the division and the Lions would take the wild card. Okay. However, if the Lions beat the Bears, the Lions win the division, but the Saints would actually be in line to get the wild card because the Saints win the fourth tiebreaker between the Bears and the Saints. So
how'd you do that math? That is impressive.
it's very complicated. And additionally,
I am very
Chicago,
attracted to you right now.
the Bears have a little bit of a leg up because they've already won the first 2 weeks of the double headers for weeks 10, 11, and 12. And the Lions are 1-1 through weeks 10 and 11. So that division is going to come down to the wire, and it actually affects wild card spots for other people for the Saints. I think that's Roy. So Roy is hoping for the Lions to beat the Bears and the Lions to win their doubleheader. If the Lions beat the Bears and don't win their doubleheader, the Bears still don't make the playoffs because they lose tiebreakers to the Lions for the division.
That is wild. If all of that is right, that is mind-numbing information.
It's really, really close between those
Good
two
job.
teams. So that's the matchup to watch in GA next week is the Lions versus the Bears. And actually the Bears are favored. I'm sorry, the Lions are favored by 3 to win that matchup right now.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's going to be an intense matchup. Those teams
Very
are
fun.
That's it for GA.
Hey, well done, dude. That was great. All right, next let's do Jason. Oh, sorry. Did we have any trades?
Oh, yeah, let's check that out.
I think we have a couple or two. A couple or two.
I did 2 alone, so I know there's at least 2.
Oh, and then okay.
Oh,
All right.
Oh boy.
It was
Hey,
a busy week in these leagues.
let's fly
Just a
through.
couple.
Oh,
Focusing-
that's right. GA was the one that was popping off.
yeah. Look, I want to look
Right.
at the one with San Francisco. Who's that?
Braxton.
Braxton. So he's making a move. He gave up Gabriel Davis and a round 2 for T. Higgins. That's probably going to help him as he moves into the playoffs.
And a first.
And the first.
That was suggesting.
Okay. He did give up a lot for T. Higgins.
He did,
But
and then T. Higgins
He's
pooped on
trying
us.
to kind of lock down that playoff run,
I
which
know.
so I don't hate it. And Jay alluded to this earlier. I'm a big, if I want a guy, I'm gonna whatever it is, just I'll pay it. I want him that bad, I'll pay it.
He,
He
I
scored
can
over
tell you, he
200
was
points this week.
persistent.
He's got
he-
JT.
What I think is kind of weird is that Kyle traded for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. I
And
didn't.
Kyle's in line for the third pick in next year's draft. So that's not going to help his possible points. potential
Well,
points.
I own that pick now, so he doesn't care anymore.
So
Okay.
wait, and he traded away his first and Dallas's first, right? Am I
Dallas
seeing
is
this right?
2023 first and his
And his
2022.
2022. So that 2022
wow.
pick actually just became a lot less valuable with that
Yeah,
trade.
he put up like 150 points this week.
Yeah, he did actually because I was playing him in the doubleheader.
Ooh.
And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
watching it
that's
close
makes
since I
sense.
own it now, and I was very sad.
Well, if Christian McCaffrey comes over and has 2 top 5 running back seasons the next 2 years, it was worth it.
Yeah,
you can build
he's-
around it. But how much does he cost? How much CMC cost? $80?
Yeah.
That's tough to build around.
So I took on Connor, who's like 50 something, to offset the salary in that.
We could
But
just
he's
take
got some
Connor.
guys that are injured on IR. He'd have a solid squad if everybody can come back healthy next year.
You gonna try to go sling Connor now?
I tried, but nobody's really interested. It's $50 something.
Even like a second?
I shot him out to almost everybody, and no one can
He's
afford him.
He's $51. It's
Yeah.
pricey.
Interesting. I'll talk to you. We'll talk after.
All right.
But then you can see here another trend. The Rams are selling. They've picked up 3 second-round picks and a first-round pick. All the second rounds are for 2022 and a first-round pick for 2023. So they gave away Cortland Sutton and Hunter Renfro for 3 seconds and a first. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be me.
Yeah, that was good.
And
Yeah, you got 2 seconds for Hunter Renfro in a
Pretty good.
start 8 league.
Hmm.
That's sexy. I like
not
Hunter
bad.
Renfro.
I do too.
He's Edelman light, but
I like him.
in a start 8 league, I don't want to ever start him. Right? I don't want to. He's not going to be like an Elijah Moore where I'm excited about a boom. You know,
I start him every week.
in an 8, in a
He's got a good
starting
floor.
8 though, in a
In
starting
GA.
8.
In GA, I start him.
Yeah, that's
I don't have any running backs. I start him, Mike Evans, Debo Samuel. I mean, he's like the third or fourth option.
yeah, that's okay. That when he's your third or fourth
Yeah.
guy,
You wouldn't, I would not want him as my best wide receiver. That would suck.
Yeah,
But
2
then
seconds.
just
That's good.
looking real quick at the other ones with the Eagles and the Redskins, Russell Gage in a third for Mark Ingram. That seems like a trade that was made for a spot start.
Mhm.
Or somebody was really
Jason
hot
K and
on Russell
Justin.
Gage.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was me and Jason.
it was a spot start this week, but I still think Ingram could have value for the rest of the season.
And
Oh,
I
he
didn't
will.
want to
Yeah, I mean,
accidentally.
I'm sorry, I forgot, Jason. You're in the playoffs, so that's actually going to help you moving forward because Russell Gage was not helping you at all.
And I, on that end, didn't accidentally want to score too many points and lose the 1-1.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Perfect strategy.
And the most recent trade between the Bengals and the Steelers, so interdivision, round 3 for Alex Collins. Somebody was trying to send me Alex Collins for something, and I was like, I'm not really interested. That feels like a spot start, but the Steelers are in line for the 5th pick next year, so I don't know. Or the Bengals are in line for the 4th pick, so I don't know why they're trying to. I don't know. That's a weird trade. It's not uneven. It's just weird. Neither of those teams are in contention for anything except getting a better pick.
Weird. Boredom.
That's it for GA.
That's GA. Love it. Loved it, dude. Hey, Jay, you ready with 32?
I was born ready.
Yeah, you were. Give it to me hard.
All right, let's start with the you want to do this first or you want to do the picks?
You tell
First
me.
pick. Let's do first pick like he did.
Okay. You mean the race for the 101?
The race for the 101.
I like
Of
how that
course.
sounds.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Whoa.
Something happened?
Just looking at the potential points there.
Oh,
Yeah, so it looks like the Ravens in the AFC. It looks like they're going to clinch it, being down. What is that? Almost 400 points
ooh.
from the next worst team. So it looks like it's going to go Ravens 1. Looks like the Steelers clinched 2. New England and the Raiders should one of them 2 is going to get 3 and 4, and then 5 looks like it's clinched almost by the Sack Exchange, New York Sack Exchange.
All right, so let me get those names real quick. New England is Tim Robertson. New York Sack Exchange is Andy. And then who else?
Braxton is the Baltimore Thrashmore, I think.
Braxton has been, he accidentally got 1 win. He's been working hard at the 101. Okay, go.
Okay, and then the NFC is the almighty Motor City Mayhem.
Oh, that's my boy, JK.
And I think I'm trying to clinch it. I know Atlanta's on my tail. I gotta get rid of Big Ben if anyone wants him.
Atlanta is Jeremy. Okay.
I'm only down 40, and I think I put up like 80 points this week.
You need to start selling them. Whoever keeps scoring for you here.
It's Big Ben. He's killing it. I'm trying to tell him, give me a third for him.
Dude, that's when you just drop him, bro.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I would.
And then
I'm not joking.
and then I probably will right after this. And then so it looks like it's going to be. If I had to take a guess with my strategy, I'll be 1. Atlanta will be 2. 3 will be Tampa Bay. Who that is?
Tampa Bay is Adam Yeager. Never
Adam
heard
Yeager.
of him.
I think he'll clinch that 4th pick, which is Carolina Castaways, which
Hey, Adam,
is
get on Discord.
Michael
Castaways,
Fitzpatrick.
Michael Fitzpatrick. Hey, Michael, get on Discord. Play with us.
Fun fact, I believe I own that pick, but I could be wrong.
That
Give
Next
me 1
is
second, I'll
Philadelphia.
tell you.
Damn.
Keep
Next
going, I'll let
is
you know when I find it.
Philadelphia Hex. It looks like it'll stay where it's at, except for possibly New York, or is that what it says? New York Clunge Buckets and the Super Rebels that they could swap, which I own the Super Rebels pick as well.
Roy is the Super Rebels. The Cludge Buckets is West. What the
Is
fuck?
West.
The Cludge Bucket. Nothing good, I bet. Oh, Cludge Bucket. I gotta Google that. All right, keep going.
I mean that's it as far as the top 5 or 6 go.
Okay, fun. Keep getting that 101, guys. Hey, dude, seriously, Ben's gone. I'd blast out a third to everyone or a fourth, but hey, remember, you can't even keep all these picks anyway. So a third and a fourth might not get anything with all the picks you've already accumulated. If
Well, you'll
it's a
see I
difference
traded
of
away a second.
101 or 102, see you later, Ben.
Yeah, I traded away a second earlier. You'll see later.
Nice.
But for the we'll start with the AFC North. The AFC North and the Cleveland Capitalists. The Cleveland Capitalists won their matchup this week and improved to 10-4, and Cincinnati also won to improve to 9-5. It looks like a common theme throughout some of these weeks. Those two teams play each other next week, and it looks like that should determine the division. The AFC South and Renee, she already clinched it, and I don't think it was really close at all this season.
Thanks a lot.
It's upsetting. The AFC East, Miami won and improves to 10-4. New England won and improves to 9-5, and they also play each other. And I believe, barring DH, they should be competing for the division as well. And then the AFC West, which is a little bit of a shit show here. The Denver Defenders won, and it looks like they clinched a playoff spot. Whether it's the division or a wild card, we'll see, depending on how they do against Zach. Or no, depending on how LA does. LA won this week and improved to 10-4, and Zach lost this week and stays at 9-5. Where it comes in is Zach plays Denver, and if Zach loses, he's out of the playoffs.
Oh wow!
But
That's
if he wins, he can clinch a wild card. He should clinch a wild card spot if he wins. And the other wild card should either go to Denver or LA, unless I believe it's Cincinnati.
Who's Cincinnati?
No, it should. Looks like I think if Zach loses, he's out. But if he wins,
that Cole.
I think all 3 of them guys will make the playoffs.
Freaking Cole. Good job, Cole. Keep it up, buddy. Go Raiders. Oh, God, depression. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. And then that looks like how the AFC will pan out. The NFC, the Sith Pack, sitting at 8-5, won this week to improve to 9-5.
Yeah.
And Chicago at 6-7 lost this week to go to 7-7, and is most likely out of the playoffs unless Dallas loses and he wins his DH. The NFC South, Todd and his TD Flashers.
Is that what that is?
That's funny.
At 8-5, clinched the division. I don't even know if they won or not. It doesn't matter. They clinched it. The NFC East and the Washington Colonials won this week and clinched the division at 9-5. And Dallas won this week and goes to 8-6. And it looks like he will be if he wins this week, he will beat out Adrian for the wild card spot. If not, Adrian still has a shot at it. If he outscores. But he has to also outscore. He'll also have to outscore Dallas by almost over 100 points. So it's not looking good for Adrian.
I think I play this good team called Motor City Mayhem next week. That's 0-13.
I got you,
might have
Adrian.
a shot.
I want to start Big Ben this week. I'm starting Big Ben.
You mean the Big Benless Motor City Mayhem?
Okay. And then last but not least, we have the San Francisco 69ers, who have clinched the division at 11-2, and I believe they won to improve to 12-2.
Dave Reed, 69ers. Yep.
Yes. And then the Arizona Basket Weavers and Brandon Nance. I'm not sure if they won or not, but I don't think it matters. I think they already secured a wild card spot.
Very nice. While you are looking up the trades, if there are any, clunge is a vulgar slang term for anus or vagina. So
That's fine.
Nice.
That would be.
that's,
If I recall correctly, there's a lot of trades in 32.
I wonder if was that West, did we say?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah, so it must be
Figure.
some wherever he's from.
English
Foreigner.
term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, these are some all names, huh? All right, let's
I'm going to try and fly through this.
nice.
Start at the bottom, and the Pittsburgh Pit Stains and the Tennessee Turkey Vultures. I don't know if I've heard that name
Like Jake,
yet this season.
Jake and Troy.
Jake and Troy. Yep, you got it. Jake's the pit stains.
Jake gave up Thielen, and Troy gave up Naeem Hines.
Nope. Nope. Troy gave up. Nope. You were
Troy
right.
gave up.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
okay. Naeem Hines, Laviska Shenault, a third and a fourth.
I apologize.
I think I'd still rather have Thielen.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So
And
Hines, Chenault. Is Chenault going to become something, guys?
Seems unlikely at this point.
It seems
Well,
Keeps just not
unlikely.
doing
My-
anything.
Seems like it
their-
would have
their
happened this year.
receivers court. I mean, they haven't
It's-
done nothing in Jacksonville anyways, except for Agnew.
It's funny.
Freaking
It's funny.
He's
Agnew
done
is getting
too.
more run than Chenault.
Well, Agnew's done for the year now.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. So now Schnauz is.
Well, good. Now let's see if Chenault can do something. How depressing.
So
Marvin
I don't know
on
if
the
you,
Schnauz side.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember, Jason, but I believe I was on the Jason and Renee show and we were talking about Chenault, and I said he reminds me a lot like Cordell Patterson when he first came into the league.
So at about 31 years old, he'll break out.
There's a shot.
Dude, Cordero Patterson hit the scene. We loved him, bro. And then nothing. And then
He was
now
the
he's,
guy.
dude, now he's the cat's pajamas, bro. All right,
yeah.
next.
Next is who are the Pit Stains again? You messed me up.
Jake.
Jake and James.
Collusion.
Jake gave up collusion. Jake gave up Hopkins, and that's it for Big Ben, Russell Gage, and a first.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm like, whatever.
yeah, you know.
That doesn't even make it bounce. I don't even feel
it does-
anything
it does.
happening.
It does definitely help the Capitalists and their playoff run, knowing that they haven't clinched the playoff spot. I think if they win this week, they will. And like I was saying in my trade for player, DeAndre Hopkins,
You're right.
I'm liking his.
So
I'm liking his
Hopkins,
trade.
so Hopkins for a first.
Basically.
Good.
Yeah, that's buying real low. That was a great trade.
Yeah, that's all. That's fine. Hopkins isn't exciting me, but maybe I need to look at that more. All right, next.
The Chicago outfit and young Adrian trades with the Minnesota Elk Herd and Tom Brandner.
That's pretty
uh,
sexy.
Adrian gave up J.K. Dobbins for Darnell Mooney in a first. Adrian.
Ooh.
So, Adrian, tell us what you're doing with the Chicago outfit right now.
So I was trying to beat Joe for the most part. Didn't happen. So of course J.K. Dobbins is not giving me any points. Sitting in the IR slot, so I was trying to get some points and I guess kind of get some stock for the future.
Mhm.
But it didn't work out. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Tom Bradner for getting on Discord. Way to go, buddy.
Yep, love it, bro.
Good job.
Yeah, it's
He
and
told me
Adrian.
he's going to listen
And
to the
thanks,
pod this
Justin.
week.
Thanks for getting him on there.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
I
told me he's
thought-
going to listen this week, so we'll see.
Oh, nice. Oh, is that your friend, Justin?
Yeah, I work with him.
Oh, love it. Well, I think that's a great trade for both. I like Mooney.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Yeah.
Pickle
I
loves
mean, he's-
Mooney first.
Minnesota's building for next year. So J.K. Dobbins is going to be, you'll see, I guess, paired with Derrick Henry.
Yep.
for him. So
Yeah.
What I love about it is
That's solid.
you've seen Darnell Mooney and you see the upside there, and you were able to still get a first trading away Dobbins. Like I like Dobbins, but with Lamar at quarterback, he's constantly going to have yards stolen from him. So I think it's a fantastic trade. Well
He's
done.
solid.
And
I think
Adrian.
I liked it. I like it all the way around.
Adrian, fun fact: J.K. Dobbins was super close to being my trade away player for this week.
Oh, how about that? Simpatico.
Not a big fan.
beat you to it.
And then this was the most controversial trade I would say of the week. Renee, and the swindler she
Oh,
is,
yeah.
traded away an $80 Allen Robinson
Oh,
to
That's
to
right.
Bill
I
for
forgot
Antonio
about
Brown.
that. Dude, you know what? Hey, I got to give it to Bill. And you know what? Zach does this too. So I'm going to give props to Zach. Wears his heart on his sleeve. Because for me, if I saw that, I would pocket that anger and that embarrassment. And I wouldn't show that in Discord. And Bill came out and he said, "What?" You know, he was genuinely, that was awesome. I loved it. And then he'll probably end up dropping him or selling him cheap, but he thought he was getting a good Allen Robinson for next year, and then he was an $80 Allen Robinson, and that's hilarious. I'm sorry, Bill. You're a good dude, but gotta check that salary, bro. Yeah.
So the next is Roy and the Seattle Super Rebels and then he traded with myself and the Motor City Mayhem. I got a more reasonably priced Allen Robinson at $52.
Mhm.
And I traded away Tyler Boyd in a second. For me, I kind of want to move towards a win now approach next year with my 3 firsts, 3 seconds. Allen Robinson now, Kyle Pitts. I think I could make a little splash next year, so I'm trying to get some buy low guys. And I also want to see where Allen Robinson goes. It'll be fun to have him for the offseason.
Yeah, I like having Allen Robinson for next year, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna compete next year. I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you right now, November 22nd, 2021, do not try to compete next year. You will fail. You will not make the playoffs. I'll bet you $500 to $100 right now that you will
100%.
not make
Let's do it. Let's do
you
it.
will not make the playoffs.
Oh my gosh.
Done.
Jason K, you just lost
Deal?
a bunch of money.
Dude, I want to do it. Oh no, it's done. We did it. I want to take a quick rundown here. So you got Trevor Lawrence, love it. You got Pitts, love it, tight end premium. You got Jerry Jeudy, that's solid. Then you have no one.
I have
Like
3 first-round picks and Allen Robinson.
The 2022 draft class isn't that good.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care how many draft picks you have. You won't make the playoffs. You can't.
And I have a boatload of cap space. A boatload.
Of what?
A
Cap
boatload of
space?
cap space.
Yeah, you won't make the
I
playoffs.
like the optimism, and if anyone gives you 5-1 odds, anything, you take it.
Yep, I'm very happy. I was going to make it more if you said no. Okay,
If anybody
next.
wants Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod, no.
What you got to do is go
$2.
get Tyrod's backup.
You got to drop Big Ben. Make sure you get the 101. You grab that best running back, probably, right? You need running back. I probably would get running back.
Update
Okay,
on
Alrighty.
the NFL game. Bucks won 30-10.
gross. That's disgusting.
The next we have a swindler. The Sith Pack, and that is Joe, I believe, traded with the Minnesota Elk Herd and Tom, and Joe got Eckler and gave up Derrick Henry.
And he proceeded to knock Adrian probably out of the playoffs
Yeah,
with that move.
Yep.
you know,
Gross. I am sorry.
no comment.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, way to go, Tom. God.
That's twice. That happened to you twice, Adrian.
Solid.
Yes, I know.
Good job. Good activity, Tom. Love it. Adrian
And
hates you.
then next is Joe trading with Wes. Wes needed a defense. Nothing special.
Boy, yeah, that was interesting how he ended up pulling off having
It was
Tom
pretty
just go
much-
out or Wes go out and
Just pester him until he gave in.
dude, I know. Yeah, hey, it worked. All right. Adrian,
Yep.
what you got, brother? Hit us with JB.
Ching ching. That's the 24 sound, right?
Oh, dude, did you guys watch that show?
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro,
Love that
24 is legit. Did anyone not see that?
I didn't see it.
I
Oh,
did not
Jason.
watch it either.
Oh God, guys,
You need to watch it.
dude, big time. You got to watch that. That's a great show. That was high stress, intense. All right, JB.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna stick with this right here. I'm gonna go through the teams first, and then we'll go to the race to the draft. So AFC North, we have Todd in the Steelers. They've solidified first place in the division and will make the playoffs. This PF is awe-standing, if that's a word, but it sounded good to me. Awe-standing because at 1854, so he's passed up Renee, and he's 130 points over the next highest.
Wow,
He's been scoring some points.
dude.
He's killing it. So we need to hear from you though more, Todd. You've been silent lately, so
Yeah, I wonder
maybe
where
that's your
he's
plan.
been.
Yeah, maybe that's his plan. Maybe
Not
it's,
jinxing
being
it.
silent and just taking business on the scoreboard.
So,
So, but he's got it solidified pretty much. AFC South, this is getting a little hairy here. So, with DHs the way it stands, we'll have a three-way tie going into next week between myself, Joe and the Titans, and Kyle and the Jaguars, and they're all after me. So, but going into next week, I play the Colts, thank God, and will be a big game time. It'll be a big game between Joe and the Titans and Kyle and the Jags. So I'm looking forward to their game next week. Yes.
dude,
So AFC West, we have
Kyle
looks
almost
like
got
Renee.
beat by the Colts.
Yeah, he scored 200 points this week.
Damn.
Kyle, yeah, he did good. AFC West, we have looks like Renee has leaped over Jason W with the DHs
Mhm.
and has a big game next week going up against each other, trying to solidify first place. So it's you and Renee next week
Damn.
for all the marbles. So
Wonder who's
I think
on
you
bye.
won. You lost, and I think you.
The
Chiefs are on
was-
bye next week.
Who
Who
is
is?
Chiefs?
The Chiefs for sure, and I can't remember the other team.
Okay.
The race to the
Yeah.
draft. So we have John and the Colts looks to have the 101 locked up. Zach is a close second place because of the points projected, and then Tony with Baltimore, and then Jason K rounding up the top four. If we were to end today, and they still have their picks, so as if they still have their picks. So it looks like it's John, Zach, Tony, and Jason K for the top four in the AFC. NFC,
job, Jay.
we
Thank you.
have Nate and the Bears and Mache and the Lions.
Who's
Are in
Mache? What? I
battle.
think you mispronounced that.
Mache.
Oh.
I think it's Mache. He said the J is like a CH
Mhm.
and then EY. So I'm saying Mache
Machi.
That was like he's Asian.
and the Lions.
I don't think he's
They're in
Asian.
a battle, both won, but the DH will put Nate one game ahead going into next week. Well, they'll be playing each other again. So to try to gain some momentum. So a lot of the top two teams are playing each other, which is kind of nice. It's going to be close, but either one of these two could also be the one that clinches the wild card. So they're both at 9-4 right now before this week, but it's going to be close. But it looks like they may have the wild card clinched. NFC South, we have Jim and Carolina should be sitting with a 2-game lead with his DH win, and we'll battle it out with Nick and the Bucks next week to try to seal first in the division. So it looks like if he wins next week, he should have the division in the bag. NFC West, looks like we have Rizzo, LACTU have clinched the division. with his win and the win in DH. Nilo's making a wild card push, and he won his division and also his DH game, and looks to have an easier game next week. So it's going to be kind of close, but I think probably the NFC North is probably going to take the wild card. So rates to the draft: the 101 and 102, the 101 and 102 will be had by the San Francisco team, which is Hugh and Brandon, and the Saints team pick, Tim Robinson, will move to the Packers team pick. Maybe Chris Johnson's and the Cards. Then who knows where it goes from there? We'll have to figure it out, because it's
Maybe.
it's crazy. Maybe.
I think playoffs are
Maybe I
determined
can
by
write
maybes.
correctly. Maybe I can type correctly next week and we can understand what I'm saying.
Maybe.
I make it easier,
Maybe.
possibly,
Thanks, man.
allegedly. But let's go into something that we can really understand, and that's trades.
Hey, I'd like to point out something.
Point it out.
Do it.
If Zach loses next week, he's out of the playoffs in every league.
Really?
Yes, fun fact.
That'd be wonderful.
That would.
Although for what it's worth, just Mickle, Mitch the Pickle doesn't like me bashing Zach so much, so we might tone it down a little bit.
I'm
In
just saying, if
32
you're
league.
looking for things to cut out of the show.
That's off-season talk.
Deal. We can have a spin-off podcast.
There you go.
Cool.
So we had some trades. We got a Jason W with the trade, kind of a sneaky trade. We had a Tony Lopez giving up Tua Tagovailoa to Jason for a 2023 first-round pick and a 2023 second-round pick.
So how do
Not
you
bad.
guys feel about Tua?
You've been on 2 all year, if I remember right.
You've
You've been hard at him in the off-season.
Depends where he goes.
I've
He'll be.
my
He'll
opinion
be
has
in
changed a
Miami.
lot the last 6 or so weeks. He's looking solid.
Right?
I don't know if he stays in Miami, but I think he's got, 2 to 3 year minimum to prove it wherever he goes. And I
What
think
if
he
he
can
goes to
prove
the
it.
Texans?
All
I
right,
don't
if he goes to
think-
the Texans, no.
I don't think I care where he goes, because I think we're just barely starting to see who Tua Tagovailoa is in the NFL.
Yeah, he's
I
got
just
some
don't
talent.
trust left-handed quarterbacks.
Why?
I
Vic,
don't know. I just
Vic was
don't.
good.
Vic, Steve Young, that's about it, right?
Racist?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess. I
that's
hate lefties.
What a dick. I don't know. Honestly, Tony's a stickler. He sometimes thinks about trades for quite a while, and I think I got Tua kind of cheap.
Is it a super flex?
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
and he wanted.
I
I have a first and second in 22 also, and he wanted 23, which I get it, but
Yeah.
I have time to get my 23 picks back or 23 picks back. And he's not being a holdout this year, so he's only like $15 or $12, super flex. So
That's a good price. Good
Yeah.
price.
I hope
And we got-
Tony does well.
Yeah. Then we got a Casey Jones. He gave up Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, a 2022 third round pick to James, who gave up Michael Carter, Ty Johnson, Robert Woods, Dallas Goedert, and a 2022 second. Seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot, but that's what happens when you try to make a push, huh? Keenan
Well,
Allen. So
yeah.
Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews for Woods and Goddard. Woods, Goddard, and yeah. I like it.
Yeah,
and that's what it's
especially
going
now
to take.
with Woods and
That's
Carter
good.
out. I mean, it's,
Even trade.
yeah.
I'd say it screams even, because the second and
Okay.
third, remember, it's a 12 team league.
Yeah.
That's just what it's going to cost. No one really wants Woods right now, right? Ask
No.
Jason K. Jason K's
Yeah,
been
he's-
shopping Woods. I mean, try selling Woods right now.
I just traded him.
Oh, did you? Good job.
Blockbuster trade. The one we're talking about.
Which one?
Oh,
He just
no,
barely
the one
posted it
you
in
and I were.
Discord.
I'll tell
Gotcha.
you once we're done this. I'll tell you. I'll say
Gotcha.
speaking of another Jason blockbuster trade, we got
Oh, yeah.
Jason A trading Tyler Heineke and Dan Arnold, and to Renee. And Renee gave up Paris Campbell and a 2023 second.
Gross.
So
Next.
Yeah.
See,
this is what
I'm
happened.
really feeling this. I'm feeling this Renee regression next year. She's gonna that second's gonna be a good pick. I'm feeling it.
She
Yeah,
needed
Every
to
team-
have it. Yeah, she needed to have a
every team's
quarterback
holdouts.
because her quarterback still had bye weeks, and made the move once she found out Fitzmagic was not coming back this season. So she made
I
it
mean,
for the future, so she could have a bye week replacement, so she can beat, I'm sure, going after Jason W.
Yeah, and that was smart. That was smart of her to do. But she's sitting at 300 bucks, no picks. Jalen Hurts, she's going to have to trade away someone. She's going to have to trade away someone because she's got Dalvin Cook at 39 bucks, Austin Eckler at 39 bucks, Alvin Kamara at 70 bucks. And then Amari Cooper, 27, Tyler Lockett, 25 bucks, Allen Robinson, 25 bucks. Couple, she's got Noah Fant. I like Noah Fant, and then a couple $1 guys. Noah Fant for $2. I don't know if he'll be a holdout this year, but probably not.
probably not.
Yeah, no picks, and only Kyler, and then Jalen Hurts, which I like Jalen Hurts, but she's gonna have some tough decisions. But if anyone can get it done,
Yeah, knowing her bye weeks and everything, because she still has to replace both bye weeks. Cardinals this week and Eagles week 14. So she needed somebody.
she did.
And I've given up on Paris Campbell personally. So
Yeah, so has the world. Okay, Justin, hit us with NFL.
NFL.
all right, we'll go quickly
It's
through this since we're
It's
running
round
kind of long.
third. Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone want Paris Campbell?
Negatory.
No, I'm borderline cutting him at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
Unfortunately.
We'll start with the AFC North. It's a disaster. Everybody's 7-6 or 7-7 at this point. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, all at 7-7 after this week. I don't know all the tiebreakers and all that stuff. I got so confused last night trying to do all this stuff.
This is mine. If you want me to say it real quick.
Yeah, if you know them, go for it, please.
I won my DH. I believe they both lost, so I'm on top. I go against Nate this week for the division.
All right, there you have it. That's a match to watch. So it's
Boom.
Browns, Bengals for division this week. All right. AFC South. Texans move up to 9-5, or they lost this week to the who'd they play? Sorry, Texans lost this week to move to 9-5. Jaguars are sitting at 8-6, Titans 6-8, Colts 4-10. So that one's still the Jaguars could sneak in and win this one.
I won this week.
Yeah, you won this week, right? So I don't know the doubleheader sitting there, but they're within a game of each other going into the last week, so that one's still up in the air. Both, if I remember right, are sitting right in the mix of the wild card, though, worst case scenario. AFC East is over. The Dolphins have won that division. They're currently sitting at 10-4. The Bills at 6-8 in second place. Patriots at 5-9, and the Jets are at 3-11. And the AFC West, it's a two-team race essentially for the division with the Broncos at 11-3 and the Chargers at 10-4. Zach is still in the mix at 7-7 for a wild card spot, and the Raiders are at 3-11. So for the wild card standings, not counting the people currently in first or division, the Chargers are sitting in first place for that first wild card spot at 10-4, with the Jaguars at 8-6. Two NFC North teams at 7-7, and the Bills with an outside chance at 6-8. But stuff would have to really go wrong for the Jaguars for that to happen. The NFC, everybody's tied with everybody, it feels like. The Falcons are at 9-5. They've got that division one actually, as they swept the Buccaneers in their two games they played this year. The Bucs and Panthers are both at 7-7, and the Saints are 6-8. It was a big win for Roy and his Panthers this week, beating the Bucs to go up to 7-7 and give them a chance for that second wild card spot. The Packers, Bears, and Vikings are all tied at 8-6 in the NFC North. Vikings, I believe, control their own destiny going into next week. They play the Packers, who they beat in week 1. They had a big game from Eckler to come back. The Vikings had a big game from Eckler to come back in their matchup and give them control of their own fate here. Lions are done at 5-9, but they put up, honestly, a pretty good fight for the last place team in the division. The NFC East, Dallas and Philly are both tied at 10-4, but Dallas beat Philly both times, so they control their own destiny with the win next week versus the Giants. They would get the 1 seed in the conference. Washington's at 6-8, and the Giants are at 7-7. And then the NFC West, the 49ers win to go to 9-5. The Seahawks win to go to 8-6. And the Rams and the Cardinals both sit at the bottom at 4-10.
Mm.
The NFC wildcard standings. Go
That
ahead.
was me.
Oh,
Did I see you only scored 55 points this week?
my replacements aren't in there. I'm at 90 with my backups.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it though. I lost by 27, or I lost by 17 points, and the Patriots scored 27 on defense. That's what got me.
Oof.
So the wild card standings in the AFC, Chargers are first at 10-4. The Jaguars at 8-6. I already did that one. Sorry. The NFC, the Eagles are at 10-4 for that first wild card spot. The Seahawks, Bears, Packers, and Vikings are all tied at 8-6, but one of those NFC North teams will obviously win their division. And the Bucks and Panthers have a chance at 7-7. So there's a lot of games to watch this week. Pretty much if you're in the NFC, you still have a chance unless you're the Rams or the Cardinals.
You know
And
who
if you
doesn't
want-
have a chance in the NFL? Me.
Yeah.
So bad.
You're the Bills.
Yeah.
I got you in my would need everything to break your way chance to make the playoffs.
Oh, I lost this week. How about that?
Yeah, it didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do the race for the top pick. In the AFC, as Adrian pulls that up for us, the Jets going into this week have 878 points scored, or possible points. They've all but got it locked as they're 90 points worse than the Colts.
Oh, they already have it. Wow.
Just about. And then the Steelers are at 1091. The Titans and the Jaguars are 1 point away from each other, but neither one of them owns their own picks. The Titans pick is owned by the Patriots, and the Jaguars pick is owned by the Colts. So the Colts could end up with 2 top 5 picks, depending on how the next week goes.
Good info.
In the NFC, the Cardinals, they're up 80 points, or they're down 80 points over the Lions for the top pick. And then New Orleans is in third, but that pick's owned by the Giants. The Rams are in fourth, but that pick is owned by Washington. And then interesting enough, the 49ers are fifth, but they're locked into a playoff spot just about. So if she wins, she would then be moving way up there. The Packers and the Panthers are also fighting for a playoff spot. So that 5th spot in the NFC draft is going to be pretty interesting depending on who makes it and who doesn't. And we had a bunch of trades in this league.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Dude, we're really
an
going
active
for it.
week with all the injuries and
I
all these
love it.
bye weeks.
Yeah. That's awesome.
If you want,
We love
if you want me to
trades.
say, if you want me to say my one I just made at the end, let me know.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end.
Oh.
So we started off the week with Joe trading Derrick Henry. What's new? Henry for Eckler. Jason, you want to comment on your end on this one?
I thought I wasn't gonna make the playoffs. I wanted. I don't like Higbee. I wanted Gesicki. I think he's a top 5 tight end in the league, talent wise at least. And then you like Tua, so I think they could build a connection for the future there. I ended up everything fell right the last few weeks, or the last week and this week, and my DH. Turns out I probably have a good shot to make the playoffs now. I just moved Henry.
Oh, you did just move Henry. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the new one.
Mm-hmm.
The trade immediately pays off for Joe, getting 1 million points from Eckler this week,
Yeah.
this week.
Damn.
And then both the Jasons
Dude.
made the Madison for Brown trade.
Yep.
That feels, I assume you have Cook wanted to back him up.
Yeah.
I like that move. I like having
I-
my studs backed up.
Yeah.
I came to him with that trade.
And then Brown, I mean, if he comes back ever, he should be a solid option down the stretch.
I think so. And I'm going to send out trades this week. I wanted Madison so I could be able to package up Dalvin and Madison so I can blast them out hopefully before the trade deadline.
I like that.
I'll take that one.
We had a pretty big trade between the Eagles and Buccaneers. The Eagles gave up Josh Allen,
Hit me
Aaron
up.
Jones, and Robert Woods, and got Lamar Jackson, David Montgomery, and Mike Williams in return. On my end, I got killed with injuries over the last 10 days. And Tampa had been trying to get Josh Allen from me all season. So I figured this is my chance to make a move and be competitive down the playoff stretch. I love Montgomery's playoff schedule. It's awesome. And Woods done for the year. Jones, who knew what was going to happen? He messaged, I got a response from him. He told me he liked that trade on his end because he was trying to get Josh Allen all year. He doesn't trust Lamar going forward. So he thinks once the running goes away, his time as a QB1 will also go away.
That
And
is
he's got
not
enough-
anytime soon.
No, but he's got enough depth at wide receiver with Metcalf, CD Lamb, and Jamar Chase, where losing Mike Williams doesn't really hurt him. And then Taylor
Solid
Heineke
trade.
for, I hate Lamar Jackson because of it, but I'm happy enough.
Lamar's he's great. His
I know.
floor's
I just
so good.
being sick week 1 really got me.
Yeah, that sucks.
Another trade. Jason was very active, giving up Heineke for Juju.
Solid.
Yeah, he came to me with that. Heineke, I don't know. I'd rather have Juju every day of the week.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
that
I would
was
too.
smash.
Yeah,
That's easy
Yeah.
for you, unless he's got a bye week
it's
to
a good
cover.
trade.
I don't like that at all.
Oh,
That's
so
what I
good.
figured.
It's a bye week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I traded Juju.
Yeah,
Oh,
Adrian,
and you
you made a trade in this league, giving up a 2nd-round pick for a defense.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Second
don't
round
think
pick.
I mean, it's a good defense. It's just a lot for a defense to me.
It is, bro. But I'm telling you, when you're struggling and you need someone to start,
Yeah, I needed a
those
strong
they can get
defense.
you some big fat points too.
Oh, yeah.
I paid a
And-
second too.
Well, so what
Last
I have Miami and I have the Texans defense. So who knew the Texans would have showed up
I
and done
know.
good this last week? But Miami's going on a bye, and I was like, the Texans are playing. I think they're playing somebody good. So I was like, well, I'm not going to start them. So I needed a defense to cover a bye. So I was just thinking future. So
Yeah,
the defense. I mean, people need defenses.
sure.
I think I can turn it around.
Definitely. An in-division trade between the two leaders was interesting. Ash gave up Jalen Hurts and Mike Evans and got Amari Cooper, Logan Thomas, and a 2022 first from Renee. Both owners reached out to me, give me a little reasons why they did the trade. Ash said he's mainly looking to next year. He said some bad luck this year. Needs to clear up salary space, and with Hurts taking such a big jump, he wouldn't be able to afford him. And he's also got 3 starting quarterbacks on the roster and kept picking the wrong one. So this made it a little easier to decide. Renee did the trade because she needed quarterback depth with Aaron Rodgers being her other quarterback. And she likes Mike Evans a bit more than Amari Cooper coming down the playoff stretch.
I think it's solid. I'm a Jalen Hurts guy.
I am now that I think he'll start next year. I wouldn't have done the trade 3 weeks ago, but I would now.
Yeah, my boy Braxton ended up putting me up on him, and I just kind of YOLO'd it, and he's
It's
looking
worked.
better and better
Yep.
and better.
I mean, 3 rushing
I,
touchdowns is hard to be mad about.
Oof.
My Amari Cooper was a trade away a couple weeks ago. I think 3 weeks.
Well,
ago.
the good news is Ash immediately sent him away after getting him. So he
Oh,
listened to you. He packaged Amari, John Bates, and Logan Thomas for DJ Moore. This was the same thing. It was a salary thing. Amari's going up, and he also said he's still kind of fighting for a playoff spot, and this was after the Amari news broke. So he wanted a guy he could start this week and also be cheaper going into next year with. I didn't get a word from the Packers, and where he's in a playoff run, I thought it was an interesting move for him to lose DJ Moore and not get a starter in return. But
Well, Mari.
Amari's out though with COVID last weekend. It was after the COVID news broke.
Oh, snap.
So into the final 2 weeks of the year, he gave up a potential top 20 wide receiver.
But at least Logan Thomas is 31, so that's
True.
fun. That's super fun.
But it might have been more of a move for next year, seeing how logjam his division was.
Sure could have been, dude. That'll do it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Hey, dude, loved it. Hey, set your rosters. I'm seeing.
I see that now.
Yeah, I want to just make sure, guys. We're down the stretch. Everyone, please set your rosters, set your lineups, put backups in there. People are fighting for the playoffs, so that means other people are wanting to make sure that you're not an easy win or an easy loss, depending on which side of the table you're looking. But You're not out of it. This is dynasty. Even if you're not contending right now, please God, set your rosters, set your lineups, start them. I know things happen, but don't make it a routine thing. People are, trying to win money here. Jason, give it to me.
All right, Jeremy. Me and Jeremy, we've been talking for the last few days. Right when I found out I was going to make the playoffs, I tried.
This is which league?
This is NFL, the one we just did.
Okay.
And I really wanted DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said, I think he's a key guy to win the championship this year.
Mhm.
I traded away Derrick Henry, Juju, and Robert Woods for DeAndre Hopkins, James Robinson, and a 2023 first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Say it again. Derrick Henry, Juju.
So I moved Derrick Henry, Juju, and Woods for Hopkins, James Robinson, and a 2023 first.
Oh, yeah. I'm in it. That's great. I like that trade. But I also have a huge direction for Robinson.
The only problem is next year he
I
now
know.
has McCaffrey and Derrick Henry
And he's in my division. Thanks.
and Woods and Juju.
Yeah.
You just love to make teams stronger over there, don't you?
Yeah. Thanks for that. Hey, dude.
Appreciate it.
Like it. Subscribe. Hey, if you want to get crazy, subscribe to it. Adrian, Mitch, Jason, Justin, much love, guys. NDL. Hey, we got 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks until the playoffs. Remember,
Just one, right?
I think we have week 12 and we have week 13.
Just one.
No, just week 12. Week 13 starts the playoffs in our leagues.
10,
Guys,
11, and 12.
Guys, seriously, playoffs start one
We
more
got
week.
11 and 12.
Yep.
Is
11
this
and 12,
week
right?
12?
Next week is the
Coming up?
last week of the next week is the last week of the regular season.
Yeah.
Guys,
Week
like
12
I
is the
was
last week.
saying, this is the last week coming up of the regular season. Hey, remember, trade deadline also is coming up. So wait, the trade deadline is on what, the 5th? And then the 5th is a Sunday, I
The
believe.
trade deadline is after playoffs.
Yeah,
start?
it is weird. It's the first week of December. I don't ever message Zach and
I
Gotta get-
checked the calendar,
Got to get 3
Um,
wildcard spots too. Let's shake some things up.
dude.
so you can do 1 week of playoffs with trading, it sounds
And
like.
we got to get rid of DSTs now that Adrian just spent a second.
Let's do it starting back to next week.
I
It's the
started.
last
double headers.
I lost my game that I started Pat's DST. That
Oof.
stings. Oh God. Hey, dude. Very fun. NDL. My favorite leagues. I know you guys love them. Thanks for listening. Much love, guys. I'm going to end this puppy. Have a good night. Deuces. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Pieces. Reese's Pieces.